Hi, I'm Beckett from Courtside Sports, and today we're going to be talking about the Head G360 Speed Pro. So first things first, let's talk specs. 100 square inches, 1820 string pattern, 300 gram unstrung weight. It's got a stiffness of 60, and the big number here is a 330 swing weight. It is not very often that you get rackets with swing weights that are higher than 325. That's a really big change compared to the previous version that had a much lower swing weight. So what does that mean? A higher swing weight is going to give you more natural power. So what are some things that make a higher swing weight? The first thing is anytime you add weight anywhere on the racket, you're gonna increase that swing weight. The next thing is the higher up on the frame you add weight, the higher the swing weight is going to be. For example, 10 grams at the center versus 5 grams at the butt and 5 grams at the tip. When you add the 5 grams on each side, you're going to get a much higher swing weight than if you only added it in the middle. That's called degree of polarization. So you could say that this racket, because the static weight and the balance point are the same, has a higher degree of polarization compared to the previous racket. Now that translates to a harder ball if you can maintain that swing speed. Now, I recommend you swing the highest swing weight you can handle over whatever period of time you play with. For example, let's say you play one set only, 3 times a week. If you can handle swinging a 330 swing weight for one set, do it. It's going to help protect your body, more mass, decreases shock. Another very interesting combination with the Speed Pro is the combination of the 1820 string pattern with the 100 square inch head. Why is that interesting? So bigger heads often are going to come with more open patterns because bigger heads and open patterns feel more forgiving, so they'll pair them. In this case, because of the modern game, a lot of players are demanding forgiving frames, but they want extremely consistent string patterns. Now what's that going to do? That's going to help you with directional control. The tighter string pattern is going to have a lower launch angle, which means you can confidently swing out, especially on those approach shots. Those crucial shots, you're already winning the point, you just got to put it away. This is going to allow you to swing a full, confident, hard swing and end the point. So how does this racket play given all these specs? It's a good racket. Our demo was strung with Head Lynx Tour 17. The crisp, lively string that really opens up the string bed and gives you even more feel on top of the feel that the frame already gets. I think it was a pretty good combination. I actually think a really soft string would also have felt really nice in this racket, like normal Head Lynx or Yonex Poly Tour Pro would feel great. Some of its strengths are definitely that swing weight. I love heavy out of the box rackets. The beam, 23 millimeters, is I think a great thickness. It really gives you stability and power because it's a little bit thicker, but it never feels like it's too much like a rocket launcher where you're shooting the ball and you have no control. So I love that. I do think if you're gonna go with a 330 swing weight, what's the harm in putting a little extra weight in the handle? I think that would make the racket feel a little bit more balanced. Another big standout feature, this one compared to the last one, is the stiffness. So the stiffness seems the same on paper, but I can tell you for sure it feels different. The spiral fibers in the new G360 update, they really add a lot of feel. So the previous G360 and a lot of other graphene models in general from Head, I find felt a little bit disconnected. Now with this one, you're getting more of those vibrations, but they're not that unwanted kind that end up hurting. They just give you the feedback you need to know what's happening with your shot. So I really noticed a lot more improved feel with this one. One thing I didn't like was it did feel a little bit unstable in the top third. So Not everyone agrees if you should even hit it up there. There's a lot of slow-mo shots of, Federer and Nadal. They contact the ball very high on the string bed. This racket's not great for doing that, so if you find that you contact it kind of in the middle-ish or lower, this is going to feel great. But if you really hit it up high a lot, it can feel unstable, much more unstable than the previous version up at the top, despite its higher swing weight. So what are some important rackets to compare this to? Rackets with higher swing weights are going to match up with this very nicely. So the Blade 1820 or even the Blade 1619, depending on what string pattern you like, this is a relatively open 1820, so I would say it sits in between the two blades. This, though, is going to feel a little bit more powerful than the Blade series. The Strike series would also be good. This one's going to feel a lot more comfortable and more control oriented than the Babolat Pure Strike 1820. I would say these rackets have very similar densities and string patterns. From Yonex, the VCore Pro HD has that's high density, so that's the 1820 and the VCore Pro 97. You could try that alongside this racket too. It'd be an amazing comparison. So who is this racket for? This racket is really for the advanced player with developed technique that can handle a higher swing weight, that needs the control from the tighter pattern, who likes a softer feel with the lower stiffness rating. I think this would be great for anyone who plays a little bit more aggressively, so an aggressive baseliner all the way up to a serve and volleyer or an all-court style player. So definitely give this racket a try if you're a player with a full developed stroke looking for a heavier swing weight and you need that control from the 1820 string pattern. If you like slightly softer rackets but not too soft, so you still get some power from the frame, this is also going to sit right in the sweet spot. If you like rackets that aren't too soft, so this racket is by no means noodly, you're going to love this one. It sits right in a great spot between power and control, just like the Speed MP is. You can check out that video up here. Now, if you'd like to hear more from us, subscribe. If you have any questions about this racket or anything else, comment or reply right away. You can also check us out on Instagram and on Facebook. If you'd like to buy this racket, it is available at courtsidesports.com.